I stared at the wedding invitation in my hands, its gold-embossed lettering gleaming under the fluorescent office lights. James and Victoria cordially invite you, my brother's wedding, deemed the social event of the year by my mother, who had planned it like a royal coronation ever since James proposed to Victoria Chin, eyes to one of the city's wealthiest families. The irony was delicious. 10 years ago, James had laughed when I dropped out of medical school to start my own company. Sarah's throwing her life away, he told our parents over dinner. She'll come crawling back when she runs out of money. I never did. Instead, I built Atlas Industries from scratch, just me, a second-hand laptop, and a garage that doubled as an office. While James climbed the corporate ladder at Chin Enterprises, Victoria's family business, I poured 18-hour days into my dream. And I made it. Today, Atlas Industries is valued at over $2 billion, not that my family knew. I kept my ownership well hidden through a web of holding companies. As far as they were concerned, I was just another mid-level exec in tech. Miss Porter, my assistant's voice pulled me back. The board meeting starts in 5. I nodded and set the invitation aside. Oh, and Chin Enterprises sent over the final contract for the semiconductor deal. They're expecting signatures by week's end. Ah yes, a $50 million contract for custom semiconductors, desperately needed by Chin Enterprises to salvage their product launch, and completely unaware they were negotiating with me. The wedding was that weekend. I considered skipping it, but my mother's voice still rang in my ears. Your brother is marrying into the Chin family. Do try to dress appropriately for once. I'd built a billion-dollar company in jeans and hoodies, but to her, I was still a disappointment. The wedding day, sunlight streamed across manicured gardens and marble pillars. I arrived in an understated black designer dress, elegant, refined, but subtle enough my family wouldn't recognize the label. It was everything you'd expect when old money marries new: 500 guests, champagne fountains, and a forest worth of floral arrangements. Sarah, my mother, air-kissed my cheek, careful not to smudge her makeup. You actually came, and you look presentable. Behind her, my father chatted animatedly with Mr. Chin, no doubt about the semiconductor deal. If only they knew. Where should I sit? I asked, eyeing the seating chart. Oh, my mother said vaguely, we had to make last-minute changes. Victoria's family had important guests, you understand. I understood perfectly. I always did. The ceremony itself was beautiful, Victoria was radiant, James smug. I watched from the back, unseen and underestimated as always. At the reception in the ballroom, guests searched for their names on glimmering place cards. Mine was nowhere to be found. Looking for something? Victoria's voice floated over my shoulder, syrupy sweet. My seat, I said flatly. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. Didn't anyone tell you? We had to make some adjustments. The kitchen staff set up a lovely table in the back. Laughter rippled nearby. James sauntered over, glass in hand. Come on, sis, don't make a scene. You've always been good at knowing your place. 10 years of condescension crashed over me like a wave. I smiled, pulled out my phone, and dialed. Jack, cancel the semiconductor contract with Chin Enterprises. All of it. James's glass slipped from his fingers, shattering on the floor. What are you talking about? He demanded. What contract? I showed him my screen, Atlas Industries logo front and center. The $50 million deal your new father-in-law was counting on. The one my company was about to provide. His face drained of color. Atlas? That's a multi-billion-dollar company. You can't. Can't what, James? Be more than the version of me you decided I was? I slipped the phone back into my purse. Congratulations on your wedding. I'm sure the kitchen staff will save you some cake. The room went still. Champagne glasses paused midair. Conversations froze. Victoria's mask cracked. "You're lying," she hissed. "Atlas is owned by Simon Porter. Everyone knows that. Simon's my uncle. He's the public face. I built it from the ground up." I raised an eyebrow. "Would you like to call him?" Victoria's father appeared, brows furrowed. "James, what is your sister talking about?" I turned to him and extended a hand. "Mr. Chun. Sarah Porter. CEO of Atlas Industries. Though you probably know me better as SP Holdings." His mouth fell open. You're SP. The one who's been buying our suppliers?" "Guilty. And your due diligence team should have done theirs. A basic background check might have helped." My mother pushed through the crowd, eyes blazing. "Sarah, stop this nonsense. You're ruining your brother's wedding." "Nonsense?" I pulled out my phone again. "Would you like to see our financials? Ownership documents?" James grabbed my arm, his grip tight. "Fix this," he growled. "Whatever stunt you're pulling, fix it." I leaned in. "You spent 10 years underestimating me, James. This is me finally returning the favor." I met his eyes, steady and cold. "Like when I needed a loan to start my company?" I asked. "When I came to you for help and you laughed in my face?" "Get a real job," you said. "Stop embarrassing the family." James's jaw tightened. "That was different. You were being unrealistic." I gestured around the glittering ballroom. "Who paid for all this, James?" "Chun Enterprises. The company that's 3 months from bankruptcy without my semiconductors." Victoria let out a sharp gasp, mascara streaking down her cheeks. "Daddy, is this true?" Mr. Chun's polished composure cracked. He loosened his tie, sweat beading along his temple. "Princess, it's complicated. Business is dying," I cut in softly. "Your company's been bleeding for years. That deal was your last lifeline." And now my father finally spoke, confusion and shame etched across his face. "Sarah, all these years we thought you were struggling." "I was building an empire," I replied. "One that now overshadows Chin Enterprises and everything tied to it." Around us, whispers rose. Guests pulled out their phones. Atlas Industries, Sarah Porter. The dots connected in real time. Victoria's perfect wedding was becoming a disaster, one she couldn't PR spin her way out of. "Please," James said hoarsely, his arrogance finally cracking. "Not today. Think about what this will do to our family." I let out a hollow laugh. "Our family? You mean the one that cut me out of every holiday photo because I didn't wear designer clothes? The one that said I was wasting my life?" My mother stepped forward, trying to control the damage. "We were worried, Sarah. We wanted you to have a respectable career, like James." I arched a brow. "The perfect son who's been embezzling from his department to cover his gambling debts?" James went pale. "How do you?" "I own the firm that audits Chin Enterprises," I said flatly. "I know everything, James. Every fake number, every dollar you stole. I was just waiting to see how far you'd fall." Victoria recoiled, her voice trembling. "You've been stealing from my father's company?" The ballroom turned into a stage. Phones recorded. Eyes watched. Power shifted. Mr. Chun snarled. "Security, get them out." "I wouldn't," I said calmly. "Unless you want Atlas to call in the loans. We now own your creditors, well, most of them answer to me now. One phone call, and they'll demand repayment in full." Security hesitated. They could feel it too. The balance had changed. "What do you want?" Mr. Chun finally asked. I smoothed my black dress, simple, elegant, and the same one my mother had sneered at. I have what I want. A company worth billions. The respect you all said I'd never earn. And the satisfaction of knowing your survival now depends on me. James stumbled forward. Please, Sarah. We can work something out. A seat on the board. Full partnership. James, I said with a slow smile, by next week I'll own a controlling stake in Chin Enterprises. The deal was a formality. Your gambling and your father-in-law's mismanagement sealed the rest. Victoria sank into a chair, gown pooling like shattered illusions. This isn't happening. Not today. Not at my wedding. You'll find the kitchen staff has a lovely table set up, I replied, echoing her earlier cruelty. Perfect for a family in your new position. My mother made one last attempt. Sarah, please. We're your family. I looked at her. You're the people who taught me that success only counts if it comes with designer labels and society connections. Thank you for that. It made building my company in secret delicious. I turned. Paused. Oh, and James? Those gambling debts? Atlas owns them now. We'll be in touch about a payment plan. As I walked out, the chaos behind me erupted, Victoria's sobs, Mr. Chun's fury, my mother's fraying dignity. Outside, my Tesla waited. Quiet. Understated. Like the woman no one saw coming. Everything okay, Miss Porter? My driver and head of security asked. I glanced back at the collapsing empire behind me. Perfect, I said. Let's go. We've got a company to finalize. 3 months later, Chin Enterprises was mine. The headlines told the story, James's embezzlement. The failed wedding. The stock crash. Victoria filed for annulment within the week. My parents? Their voicemails shifted from denial to desperation. I ignored them. I had work to do. Streamlining. Rebuilding. Shedding corruption. Most of the employees stayed. The leadership didn't. Then one day, my assistant buzzed me. Unexpected visitor. Send them in, I said without looking up. Expensive perfume hit the air. I looked up. My mother. The receptionist didn't recognize me, she said softly. I had to show ID. Security protocol, I replied. We've had some interesting visitors since the takeover. She sat uninvited, her handbag, last season's clutch, tight. We've been thinking, she said, about how we treated you, what we failed to see. And I kept my voice level. We were wrong, she whispered. We were so terribly wrong. My mother's voice trembled with regret. We thought success looked like James. All flash, no substance. We didn't realize that real success was what you were quietly building. I leaned back in my chair, studying her carefully. Did you come here to apologize? Or because the country club dues are due and you need help covering them? She flinched. We deserve that. All of it. But Sarah, you're still our daughter. Surely that means something. It meant nothing when I needed your support, I said evenly. Why should it mean something now that I don't? A single tear slipped down her perfectly made-up cheek. Because we've learned. Because seeing what you've built, what you've become, we're proud of you, Sarah. Even if we don't deserve to be. I stood and walked to the window, looking out at the skyline. My skyline. Atlas Industries had grown into a major player in the tech world, sleek, respected, unstoppable. Pride is easy when success is visible, I said. Would you have been proud of me back when I was working out of a garage, wearing the same 3 shirts on rotation because every spare cent went into the company? No, she whispered. And that's our shame to carry. I turned back toward her. James called yesterday. Wanted a job at Atlas. Her face lit with fragile hope. And I told him exactly what he told me 10 years ago, get some real experience first. Stop relying on family connections. She looked down. He's living in our guest room now. Victoria's family, they've cut all ties since the scandal. The mighty fall hard, I said. How does it feel, Mother, to be on the other side of society's judgment? Humbling, she murmured. Terrifying. Educational. I pressed a button on my desk. Clara, bring in the package for Mrs. Porter. A moment later, my assistant entered with a thick envelope. I handed it to my mother. What's this? She asked, carefully opening it. A fresh start, I said. Inside, you'll find information about Atlas's small business loan program, commercial real estate listings, contact info for business advisors, everything you need, if you're willing to work for it. She stared at the documents, then back at me. You'd help us? After everything? I'm not helping, Mother. I'm offering an opportunity. What you do with it is up to you. But make no mistake, no shortcuts. No special treatment. No trading on the Porter name. If you want to succeed, you'll have to earn it. She stood slowly, clutching the envelope like a lifeline. Thank you, Sarah. For the chance. And for the lesson. As she reached the door, I spoke once more. One more thing. That kitchen table at James' wedding? The one you sat me at? She nodded, bracing herself. Best seat in the house, I said. It's where you get a clear view of who people really are. Her expression softened with understanding. Then she left. I turned back to my desk. My company needed me. I had more important things to do than dwell on the past. Sometimes the best revenge isn't humble pie, it's watching the people who dismissed you eat it at the table they set for you. And sometimes, the greatest success isn't proving others wrong, it's proving yourself right. Atlas Industries grew into one of the most respected tech firms in the country. James eventually landed a job as a junior analyst at a small consulting firm, learning, perhaps for the first time, the value of honest work. My parents opened a small boutique with a loan they qualified for through Atlas. It wasn't glamorous, but it was theirs. And it was real. As for me, I still keep the old workbench from my garage in the corner of my office. It reminds me where I started, and why appearances mean nothing compared to what you build. Because in the end, the kitchen table isn't just where people eat.